Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead. This week we got to see the release of The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 4, Slabtown. And yes, they eat guinea pigs! How could you? How could you? Look at this guy! Look at his face! Look at his face! How you can tell me you can eat something so cute? Look at that face! Look at the face. Alright, and yes, as always, my reviews do contain spoilers. For anyone who's not seen the episode yet, you may want to watch it before you watch this review. So, okay, yeah. So that said, pretty good episode all around. Pretty good. It wasn't fantastic, I would say. It wasn't amazing. Definitely the second half of the episode was a lot better than the first. Of course, we're meeting a new group. We're getting into a new storyline now. With the end of the Hunters, it's kind of like the end of that particular story arc, and now we're getting into an entirely new one. This episode, of course, also really only features Beth, and spoilers, the only other character from the survivors is Carol, that makes an appearance just in the last 10 seconds as they're wheeling her in. So I think at this point we can kind of say that the person who's probably with Daryl, I would say, is probably Noah by himself, which I thought was pretty surprising. Now, I'll do my predictions video later on tonight for next week's episode. I'll put the link in the description, and also I'll put an annotation so you guys go ahead and click there to watch what I think is going to happen next and next week. But with this one, I mean, that was kind of cool. My favorite part would probably be when Beth and Noah are running out, and surprisingly, Noah gets through, Noah gets away, and she doesn't. I thought that was pretty interesting. And also, we don't really have a good idea at this point of how many officers this Dawn character has. Now, she's an entirely new character. She's not a character that existed in the comic books. Her whole group is completely new, and looks like they have brought them in as a new group of antagonists for season 5. Because, I mean, until we get to Alexander's Safe Zone, which will probably be in the second half, we do need something to kind of tide us over after the Hunters, because they cut the Hunter storyline pretty quick, which isn't a bad thing. It's cool to have some new groups in and get some new perspectives. And now that we kind of know how they do things, they do have 2 members of the survivors, 2 members of Rick's group. They have, of course, Beth, obviously, and now they have Carol as well, too. And they will not allow either one to leave. Now, the one thing that I think is interesting about this is whether or not they actually did save Beth originally. My take on it, my opinion, is that they did not. It sounds to me like, what was his name? Gorman? It sounds to me like Gorman. I always want to say Gordon. I don't know. Too much Gotham. Gorman, it seems to me, saw her and decided, oh, well, yeah, this is nice. So knocks her out, grabs her, and takes her with them, basically. It doesn't sound to me like what he's saying is true, which is that they found her, she had already been knocked out, and a walker was about to get her, so they took her. That, to me, doesn't sound legit. It sounds to me more like he was interested, as we got to see later on, especially with the sucker scene, which was hard to watch. Really some strange scenes with him. I hated him as a character, so nice to see that he's been killed off already, which is cool, because I didn't like him at all. We're not supposed to like him, atypical bad guy type character, rapist, I guess. So, yeah, he got what he deserved, but it seems to me like he knocked Beth out. At least this is what I think. He knocked her out, and then he brought her with them, right? It's not like he saved her or they came to her rescue. I disagree with that. I don't think that's really the idea. I think it's that the police officers, they take people they can find, and they use them as their servants, basically, or slaves, pretty much. They feed them, do whatever, but then they give them all this work to do, and it seems to me that the people that are there basically just work all the time. That's the idea I got. Beth gets a few minutes to talk with different characters in that, but aside from that, they're closed into this hospital. The police in their cars have free reign to come and go as they see fit, but nobody else is allowed to leave, and they have everything under control. So I'd be interested to see how many members of her group Dawn actually has. If I had to guess offhand, I think I saw about maybe 5 to 10 different people that were police officers. Who knows if they're really police officers or if they've just been, put on Dawn's squad, so to speak, while she has the others like Noah and Beth and, the doctor do her bidding as her slave, so to speak. So Now here's a weird one for me. So they try to run away, they try to get away, but I was thinking to myself, man, if since Beth has the gun, maybe they should just go for it. And I don't mean run away. I mean they should go for it in that she should just walk out the hallway and just as soon as she sees Dawn, just smoke her, just shoot her, shoot the other officers, give Noah a gun, maybe give the doctor a gun, and just annihilate everybody there and get out of there, because they're being kept against their will there to work as slave labor basically, and it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be easy to escape when you have them there. Like as she goes to run out, the cops really, I mean the zombies she might have been able to evade and get around, probably be okay just like Noah did, but then the cops of course come and sideswipe her and save her. Right, this is what they like to do. Right, as they basically just kind of knock her out or grab her, throw her down, and then pick her up and bring her back in to do more slave labor for them. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting type of maybe group, I guess, not really a community, but a small group, because of course they're all like really tightly packed in to this. Hospital building that they are, inside of, with only certain ones of them allowed to leave. We get the sense the doctor maybe has never left since the zombie apocalypse started. He's been there for like a couple years now, just like chilling there, or a year and a half, or whatever, however you want to say. My opinion, you guys know my opinion is a couple years, but that's just me anyway. But so. I don't know. I mean, the new group is definitely different from what we've experienced before. I think it's cool to have a strong female villain, because that's different from what we're used to, right? We've seen Gareth, Joe, the governor, Shane, Negan coming up. I think this is cool. Give us a different type of villain that we have not seen before, and a different one from the comic books. The only one we have in the comic books that's female is Magna, and she doesn't have a whole lot. She's only got a few members with her. So this new Dawn character is pretty, she's pretty intimidating. She's pretty I don't want to say the word bitchy, because that's often used to describe females that are like that. But she's very aggressive. I wouldn't say assertive, because she's hitting people and batting people around. It's not like the one guy dies and she just slaps Beth. I mean, a lot of us have wanted to slap Beth, but she just for no reason, Beth is helping out. She just backhands her, hits her again. So she's got a cut here and a cut there now. She's getting pretty messed up as time goes by here. Dawn's just having her way with her. So. Learn her. She'll learn you all right. Yeah, I was just head on with that. Learn you. Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So you owe us. So she's such a bitchy, evil character. I can't wait to see her get her comeuppance. So this is cool. Are they setting up some kind of war battle between the groups where Rick wants his people back, and these other evil cops won't allow him? It's kind of cool because he's a sheriff, of course. He's a cop. Then they're cops and they're city cops, and you get this kind of storyline. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next between the groups, and what they're going to try to do, if they just all out assault this place and try to take everybody down, or if Rick and Dawn maybe can work things out or talk things through, or maybe if Beth can just assassinate her with Carol and they can break out together, which is something that we'll touch on more in the predictions video. So there was some pretty brutal scenes. There was a sawing arm scene, which was just brutal. Now, see, I was thinking that they were doing some kind of experiments on them or something like that. In this episode, we get to see that they weren't experimenting on them, but they were, if someone is to get bit, they would cut it off, which makes sense. They're saving the person, but not that any of those people want to be there. They all want to be free. They all want to leave. And despite her speech of how, this is bigger than you or whatever, and it's the greater good, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. People should have their freedom. They should be allowed to go where they want when they want. So, yeah. So all in all, the last scene was pretty exciting. When Beth kills Gorman was good. Noah getting away was cool. Him as a character, first chance getting to see him. He was from Everybody Hates Chris. You guys know we've been talking about that for a while, because we knew he was going to be in it. He's okay. He's okay. I think he's a decent survivor. I still can't help but think of him as Chris from Everybody Hates. Every time I see him, it's it's Chris. Everybody Hates Chris. So I don't have a whole lot more to say about the episode. Predictions, of course, will be more thorough with what I think is going to happen next with Carol and the rest. It was okay. It was a decent episode. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't one of the best ones we've had this year. Probably the worst episode we've had so far. Yeah, but it was cool to see a new community. I especially liked the shot where they're on the roof, where she's looking out the window and you get to see the cityscape. Still not sure what city it is. That I'll have to look that up online because I'm thinking it's probably Atlanta, but I don't know. I mean, it could be anywhere. So maybe they got on the wiki or something. I'll figure that out afterwards. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it was a cool episode. I don't have much more to say. It was a bit of a slower episode than what we're used to, with a good development at the end and some good character development for all these new characters in this new evil group we're getting to know. Maybe we can see the Doctor kind of hang on. Maybe if he can escape or something, he could be a part of Rick's group, or who knows, and what's going to happen with Carol next. So I'll touch on it more in the predictions video, watch some promos, see what I think, and then come on back and do that probably in an hour or two for those of you who are watching it Sunday night. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. I think this is going to be a really highly debated episode of whether or not people liked it, they hated it. In terms of Emily Kinney's acting as Beth, she did a pretty good job, I want to say. I think a lot of people were kind of wondering whether or not she could hold her own on a whole episode kind of by herself, which we sort of saw it still a little bit. And I thought she did pretty good. I mean, she did okay, I guess. So, she's not a terrible actress or anything. She's pretty good, so not bad. So let me know what you guys think about this episode and this new group. I don't have much more to say in terms of the review other than that it was okay, it was decent, it wasn't the best episode ever, and it wasn't probably the worst ever. So still it's probably the worst ever, I think. At least for me anyway. So write in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about the new group, maybe some things you noticed, some things that you want to talk about, things you liked, things you didn't like, characters you liked, characters you didn't like, because there's a lot of new ones in this episode. Start of something new, with the Hunter story arc finishing, we've got a new beginning, and with that, it's not going to be as exciting as a big climactic end battle with the Hunters or something. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, do me a solid, please. Thumb it up below. And if you want to help support the channel, please share it. Please favorite it. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you afterwards for the predictions video. As always, it's Trev. Saying peace.